Hello guys, and welcome to today's tropical update. And as you guys can see, we had a very serious situation unfolding in the southwest Indian Ocean. And as you can see, this is Tropical Cyclone Batsirai. And as you can see, this is 18Z, which, it came out around 1 or 2 p.m. But since then, it has been upgraded to 110 knots or 130 miles an hour. So as you can see from this infrared satellite image, it's looking pretty decent. Actually, you can see some banding going on around here. Um, for some reason, this infrared satellite imagery does not show the eye, but I can guarantee you that the eye is there, and we will see that in the next page here. All right, so Tropical Cyclone Batsirai, we're going to use the 18Z because the rosy hasn't come out yet, is located at 17.5 south, 59.1 east. Maximum sustained winds are at 110 knots, which is 130 miles per hour. And minimal central pressure is actually down to 940 millibars. As you can see, we're looking at the Joint Typhoon Weather Center advisories here, and as you can see, they haven't caught up with everything yet. So 90 knots as the initialization, and they have it at 110 knot peak, which is 3 days from now. It's already at that. So this is going to be updated big time as we get into the next advisory. And as you can see, the wave heights are pretty massive here, about 32 feet above what is normal. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the 18Z GEFS, and as you can see, it paints a pretty dangerous picture here. As you can see, most of these are in the 950s to 940 range, which is a pretty solid category 4, but right now it's already at a 940, so the GEFS is behind like everything else in that matter. And really, upwelling shouldn't be a problem. Shear shouldn't be a problem. The only thing that can really, stop this from getting any stronger is an eye wall replacement cycle, which some are saying that it is evident that one might be starting. But here's the thing with that: that is also a double-edged sword as well, because if it starts one here in the next, say, 12 hours or so, it's still going to have 48 to 60 something hours before landfall, and then that give it time to re-intensify even farther than maybe it is right now. So, you know, Madagascar is in this situation where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So, that's just the way that it is right now. And but there's no way out of a miss in Madagascar at this point. That is only if something miraculous happens, which I do not foresee happening. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this satellite infrared here, and as you can see, we see the point in time in which it was struggling, and then it built up its inner core pretty quickly, and then that core turned into an eye. As you can see, it's trying to clear out that eye pretty nicely right now. That's why it's right now it's at a Category 4 status. And as you can see, you see these two islands down here. As you can see, this island right here to the very south of it is probably getting some rain bands from it, but in gale force winds are up to 40 miles per hour. So they're feeling some tropical storm effects from this as it moves along. Of course, if it keeps on moving south and west, that can, west southwest or west southwest, that can obviously change. But right now they're experiencing the minimal effects of the system at this current point in time. So there's that. All right, so we're gonna take a look here at Cyclonic Weather's website here, and as you can see, there's some islands here, right here, to the very edge of this map here, and as you can see, the system is moving in a west southwest to southwest fashion right now. So that, like I said, that gale force wind could turn into something stronger if it keeps into this uh, trajectory here, which I don't see that happening. I see it making a westward turn at some point here very soon. So as you can see, at one point it was up to a Category 3 major cyclone before it oofed itself back to a Category 1. But now we're at a Category 4 status at this current point in time. All right, so we're going to look at the GFS here. And as you can see, this was initialized at 18Z. So this was about 4 or 5 o'clock. And as you can see, it initialized at 939 millibars, which is pretty strong. Actually, no. Let me rewind that. Okay. But there's our blooper for the video for you guys. All right. This is 6 hours from this current point in time. So 958 millibars. It's already outperforming the GFS on that matter. And as you can see, 48 hours, 946 millibars. We're going to take a sounding here. And it doesn't look like I can take a sounding. Maybe the square is too big or small. And we still can't. So, sad days. All right. So 48 hours, 940 millibars, which is already at this current point in time. And here's 72 hours, 3 days out, 941 millibars. And as you can see, it makes landfall at about 90 hours out in central Madagascar. So, Madagascar, I go through this with every major system that's going to be making landfall. You're going to be dealing with very heavy rains. You're going to be dealing with very strong winds. You guys are definitely going to be seeing some storm surge. Probably some freshwater flooding to go with that storm surge. This is the whole enchilada here for Madagascar as it comes to the impacts of Batsirai as we go out through time. So with that being said, we are going to take a look at the total accumulative precipitation. And as you can see here, we're going to go a little bit farther. As you can see here, these yellows are popping up here. This is anywhere from 300 millimeters to 500 millimeters, which is anywhere between 13 and 21 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain, guys. That is enough to, aggravate the damage that was already caused by Anna, not even probably a week ago. So, this is not something that they want to deal with right now. But, sadly, this is Mother Nature for you. And it's saying right now that you're probably going to have to get ready for some very, major impacts going forward. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the 200 millibar. Here's the wind shear here. So, as you can see here, we're going to go back in time to right here. And as you can see, the wind shear isn't too bad as we go out through time. Maybe the GFS is off on this, but that's what the GFS has right now. But, obviously, this storm has been outperforming, weather models that is right now. So, just take this all with a grain of salt. I'm going to try to give you guys the best correct info I possibly can. All right, so here is the Ecmwf, and I love this new design that Levi Cowan put for the Ecmwf. This makes it so much easier to read, and we got total accumulative precipitation, and we got wind shear. So, this is good. This is good. Anyways, this was initialized at 12Z here, and as you can see, we're at 971 millibars, so it's already way outperforming the European model. So we're going to go out through time, 24 hours, 957 millibars, 48 hours, 948. So now it's back on track to what it really could be. 72 hours, 950, and it makes a landfall pretty much in the same area as the GFS. So this isn't, like I said, this isn't good news like at all for those people that are still trying to recover from Anna. That wasn't really that long ago. And as you can see, we're gonna go through the wind shear here, and it doesn't look too bad. But a very very small pocket of favorable wind shear here as we go out through time. So here is the total accumulative precipitation here, and it's the same thing as the GFS. You're going to be looking at 13 to 21 inches of rain in some of these locations in Madagascar. So that's two models now that agree with the total rainfall that could have come from the system. Um, it's going to be a flooding event regardless of what winds you get at the end of the day. All right, so here is the icon, and as you can see, this is the size of 18Z, and this is it's 965 millibars, so it's about 15 millibars higher than what it is right now. 24 hours out, 962 millibars. 48 hours, 956 millibars. 72 hours, 953, and then it makes landfall about 18 to 16 hours sooner than most of the other models that we've shown so far. So total, we're going to take a look here as well. So we're going to go out 5 days. So it's painting the same picture that the GFS and European were showing. So I can't stress this enough. Anywhere from the coast to about 50 to 100 miles in, you're gonna have to watch out for that freshwater flooding. Not to mention on top of that storm surge as well. So that's about it. That's about it for that. Here's the 18C Ecmwf, and as you can see, this actually initialized pretty damn good. This is only about 5 millibars off, so we're gonna have to see how that plays off. Here's 24 hours out, 934 millibars. And as you can see, 929 millibars. That's almost a category 5 right there. And now we got a category 5. So that's a pretty dangerous situation for Madagascar. And it doesn't weaken all that much going into landfall at 78 hours out, 937 millibars. So now we're going to take a look at the 10 meter wind. And as you can see, it peaks out at around 122 knots, which is pretty decent. And it makes a landfall with 107 knots. So this is still a major, cyclonic landfall here for Madagascar. So, that's you hate to see it, but sometimes Mother Nature has different ideas of, hitting you with things, and this is what it is right now. As they say, as Mark Sudduth from Hurricane Track says, if we didn't have cyclones or hurricanes or typhoons, we would have something probably a lot worse. So, like I said, that's also a double-edged sword. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So, all I can say for Madagascar is, make sure that you pay attention to your local weather, stations. You evacuate if you're told to do so. If you guys do have mandatory evacuations there, please just heed it and go. Um, if you absolutely have to stay or you want to stay, just make sure that your houses are boarded up. You got food in supply for about a week. Have plastic sealed things that you can put your papers and documents in to keep them safe from the environment. And make sure you never ever go outside during the course of this system, because it's going to probably blow you away if you do. So, just heed these advices, and hopefully you guys are watching me on your side of the screen before this all happens. So I can keep you guys informed as long as you guys have power. So with that being said, I just want all of you guys to stay safe and be ahead of the storm. You know what? I'm not even going to take a look at the SSTs, because at this point, it doesn't really matter at this current point in time. It's because the SSTs are clearly warm enough to support major intensification of this system. So with that being said, please be safe. Listen and heed the words of your local weather stations. Anyways, that is it for me today. I'll be back again tomorrow evening with another update for you guys. Take care, be safe, and peace out.